So today's routine's a little different since I started sleeping in the ocean last night. As you guys saw, the actual footage of me crawling out of the ocean this morning. And that was after a fish bit me. Seriously, look at this. It's like a little hickey from a fish. I was swimming along and all of a sudden, it was a little, I don't know, 8-inch, 6-inch long fish. And it freaking bit me. All right, cooking some stuff up. Got some beef, got some peppers, some tomatoes, some onions, olive oil. It's gonna be a good breakfast with a view. And then we gotta get to work on the Lamborghini. All righty then. Now that I got my belly stuffed, it's time to get to work on the car. Let's roll. All right, now's where I just sit here and draw things and think about things and massage ideas and let gears turn and let gears grind and reverse gears and lubricate gears, mental gears, that is. So what I'm trying to figure out in this space, let me turn the camera. So we've got the fridge. We've got the other fridge that I'm gonna order for freezer. So I have one fridge, one freezer, and then we've got the batteries. So in this area, big camera, we're gonna have potentially fridge batteries, or fridge freezer batteries, or fridge batteries freezer, one of those things. I think I'd like to keep the X's of the fridge on driver's side. So that's kind of the layout. Now the reason I want to do a fridge and a freezer is because I just like to cook food myself, and sometimes when you're traveling for distance and days and days and days and days and days, fridge is not enough to keep meat good and fish and other things like that. You've got to have a freezer. So that's why I want a dedicated unit. Now there's no company to my knowledge that makes a combo fridge freezer that is the size that needs to fit between here and here. Because if I took the old National Luna, and this is why I'm switching to the Dometic, is because the National Luna sits like all the way up here, so I would have almost no headspace. Now this one is only going to rise my bed about hopefully like 1 inch at most, so that way I'll still have a nice comfortable space in here. But because it's only a fridge, I have to have two of them, one for fridge temperatures and the other one I just turn down because it's able to be just cranked down to freezer temperatures. So which it'll be really nice having that much fridge and freezer space. Hopefully it won't consume too much of an insane amount of power. But yeah, no, it really will be nice to have this much space to put refrigerated things and produce and goods, because it's a dark car, and when I'm in hot places, everything just goes bad so fast. So to have this full space that just runs constantly, do some solar on the roof so it just can be constantly regenerating, I think it's going to be really absolutely amazing. So that's the idea behind that. Then I've still got to figure out, do I put the tools in the drawer up here where they're accessible, or do I keep them down where they were below here where the center of gravity's lower, and just everything I'm trying to figure out. What I learned is that moving things around in the vehicle, you really can feel them. When I had that overweight steel bumper on the front, the whole car drove really horribly, and I've noticed when I play around with things on the roof, it drives weird if I put too much weight forward versus back, or if I put too much weight up versus down in here. So I think it's gonna be great moving this fridge down to here, although it's gonna be maybe a little heavier because now it's fridge and freezer, and then of course I'm gonna fill them full of meat and steak and stuff. So there is that, but overall, the biggest thing I want to keep in mind too is that the tools pretty much stay with the car. Always, the tools are generally working on the car. Sure, if I give someone a hand or whatever, I can grab a couple tools, something like that, but I don't need this overly insane bag to be portable. In fact, I just ripped the handle off yesterday on this bag, and that's not a testament to the front runner bag. That's because I have like probably more than 60 pounds or 80 pounds, or I don't even know how many pounds. It's a lot of pounds of tools and bolts and nuts and screws and things like that in that bag. So my thought with that is it would be nice to have them in this drawer in like a foam, you know, where they've got their custom little foam cut-ins. There's companies that like CNC that, and everything just presses into its own nice place and everything could be organized. Or alternatively, I just make, you know, dividers in this drawer and have everything in dividers. But that would be something that keeps the center of gravity decently low. It's not as low as like it was down there, but it stays with the vehicle. Because if I put all my cooking stuff in there that's used obviously probably more often than the tools, if I do stay at an Airbnb or a hotel, or I'm wanting to do like a little picnic or something like that, everything's back and forth trips to the vehicle. Whereas if I keep my cooking stuff in these bags, these front runner bags, anywhere I go, I just grab the cooking bag, I have like a bag full of all my, you know, dry goods and olive oils and things like that, boom, I grab it. A bag full of pots and pans, boom, I grab it. It just makes it easy to come and go from the vehicle depending on where I'm camping and cooking. Like right now, here I am, you know, at a booking.com apartment, and I just carried in all of my bags that I mean, obviously my tools are in here, but I've carried in all of the bags that have my cooking stuff, my cans and things like that. And it's just nice to be able to just grab it and go and not have to be shuffling with things. I like everything in bags, very portable, very movable, very easy to clean, very just, yeah, I like that. So I'd like to maintain that, hopefully. So we'll see. I think I can fit 2 of these flat pack bags under this whole thing, maybe 3 if I'm pushing it, which would allow me to have all my cooking stuff below this, meaning that when I go to cook, I'll just like pop open a little trap door or slide or however I rig it up, and I can just pop the bag. I have to pull the drawer out, pop it up, and pop the bags out. Yeah, I think that's probably the best. So that's kind of what I've come up with here. You know, I have a drawer for all of my gear, a drawer for all of the tools, plus the stove. Now, the other thing is I'm hoping that this will get a little bit taller. What is this car running? My hope is this drawer will get a little bit taller so that I can fit one of the old school, I think Coleman, pump up gas stoves. So I can just literally put gasoline in it, alcohol, kerosene, you know, whatever burns in there, because that stuff's easy to source, versus the specific spec propane tanks. As we figured out, first off, different countries have different grades of propane gases, and they can make the pan insanely dirty. And of course, different fuels and stuff are going to do that too. But it will be really nice to be able to not have to worry about that anywhere I can get gasoline, I can cook, rather than tracking down and trying to find some freaking propane place that has the exact size canister that I'm looking for. So I don't know, we'll see. I love that stove. So I don't know. If we have the height, maybe we'll do that. If not, we'll keep that stove and hopefully find propane everywhere, because shipping propane's not exactly ideal. Now, I also love how I have this bag right here Velcroed on. And I would love to figure out, for like the extra random gear, a great way to just like get a bunch of bags that Velcro on. I mean, this is just like a super strong, stout bag that came from an old Jetta I had, and I kept it because I sent it back to Volkswagen with the Dieselgate helicopter. Anyway, so I'd like to have some storage organization bags. I don't know if I necessarily want them there. I think when the fridge is down here on the side of it right here, I have some space between the door and that I could have a bunch of bags for, you know, storage of different gear and things like that. And likewise on this side, I think I could have the same sort of setup, which would be nice just for, I don't know, random things. And even in here, you know, to have that. And over here, I have this little cubby. It would be nice to get something that fits in there nicely. I don't know if there's a company that like makes custom bags like this that would fit in this cavity. Or maybe what I do is I just drill into this and put like a little net. I could put a little netting in there. And that's where I could put in like a stretch elastic netting and put in all of my bedding, sheets, blanket, pillow, stuff like that, tucked in on there. In fact, I really could do that over here too. I could put half of it there and half of it here, and that would keep things kind of neat and out of the way, and then use the Velcro bags on the side, or something like that. I'm just processing different organizational ideas. So I got to massage all the ideas, then I'm going to start really massaging the ideas, and then start maybe unscrewing some of this, playing with some where everything fits in, and then I need to cut out a template for everything, all of the uprights, all of the plates that are going to cut around here, find some cardboard somewhere, cut a template out, and that way I can either CNC it or jigsaw it, either way. And yeah, that's the situation. And I got to figure out, so I think that the top I want to do wood, but I got to figure out like these vertical side supports, are those going to be aluminum, and then the top's going to be wood, and then I have to do like an L metal to get it to fit, or do I do a thicker piece of aluminum here and then drill it and tap it? These are the things I got to figure out, how exactly that's going to be done, because I think if I do a vertical of wood and then screw from the top, bouncing along roads and stuff, I think that could crack or split out where the screws are. So there's not really a great way to do that. Whereas, an aluminum vertical piece is going to stay stout, and then it's just a matter of this angle, and maybe I even just find like another L metal like this, where it is just another piece of L metal, and that from the top I can, through bolt. I just countersink flush into the wood, a bolt, and then has a nut on the bottom. Or it just taps into the, L metal itself. Either or. Either or. Either or? Either or. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Either way, moving on. Going back to thinking, so we'll talk soon. Friends from Romania. Me. Okay, anyway, so here we are, I don't know, hours later, just sweating my ass off in this car. And I've kind of got the idea of this. I think we're going to put that Austrian 18 millimeter glue lam type wood right here on the vertical. It'll go from the front of this all the way over. We'll pull this handle off. That wood will bolt this in, which will hold the fridge in place. We'll make some aluminum straps that come underneath and bolt into this point, that point, and another point over there. So it'll have 4 mounting points at the least. Should be pretty stout. Then on this side, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do in here. I'm thinking like an aluminum sheet that's got a bit of a cutout for this ventilation, but then can still have some strap points that go underneath and strap into here. Alternatively, I could make use of these end bolts on that frame and that frame, and just have one on each side, and the middle will just kind of hold itself. That's an option. I would rather have a few strap points along the way. And I could do that piece out of wood. It's just difficult at the lower part where I have this vent, it would have to be like cut off here and then curve down, kind of similar to what I'm doing. Well, no, I'm not doing that in the front. The front's going all the way. But yeah, I could bring this down and around and then up and over, but then it'll only be able to be really secured in the middle with any strength. I mean, if I have like a little dog leg over there, that could just snap off. There's not really holding that, especially because it's all end grain. Now, if I did it out of plywood and I had a little dog leg over there, it's somewhat possible. I mean, essentially what I'm talking about, to give you guys a little bit of a drawing over here, is, we have fridge with vents, fridge with vents, and then the batteries. So the wood would need to go like this. It would have like a piece that curves up and then around and then down and then over and then up and around and down and then across. And it can't go all the way up because it'll hit the lid when it opens and problem. So the problem is this would crack and this would crack. So this design would need to be aluminum, and I could even bring the bottom around on aluminum and just have perforations for the venting of the fridge. However, then I've got to source aluminum, and we know from our South African friend that aluminum sourcing in this area can be a bit difficult. So assuming that maybe I do try to do the skid plates and other stuff on here, and we do find a source for aluminum, we could make this thing out of aluminum, and it would be nice and stout, and then we can just bring in, and in this pinch weld, we can drill into there on the seat frame and add all of the little, we can bend some aluminum brackets, or we just take this thing and make it extra long and bend the little tabs and go into our existing holes. This is all also a solution. I don't like that because then it's going to make everything sit up a little more, but actually, you know, we need to sit this thing up a little more to be level anyway. So it might actually be the best thing to do to go off the existing holes, put a strap up, and either just weld it to that or have it bent from that same sheet. So if we have this back piece out of aluminum, these handles will come off. It'll bolt into there on each fridge. So we'll have to leave a little bit of space there. The front, obviously, will have some space. And then on the in-between for the batteries, I want to have something in this boxed area where the batteries go down in to kind of hold everything together. So I'm not sure whether I want to build another battery box out of wood. Or if I want to do it out of aluminum. And now that I'm thinking about it, I almost wonder if I want to just take this battery box, pull this out and flip it over and just plop it down in here, but with the new equipment in there, rather than redoing that whole damn thing. That's an idea. I don't know. What I'm conceptualizing here is that I take the battery tray that I currently have under this that's aluminum, take that out and plop it right here, and then redo the little chargers and such like that. At the least, that tray already exists, it perfectly fits the batteries, and I believe I have a good way. I can't remember how I strapped them down, but I believe I had a good way to strap them down. So what I was thinking was that would plop in here, and then on top of that, I would have a tray that sets down that's got all of the fuses and extra things like that. And then on top of that would be, you know, a tray, and then it would all vent into this back common space. So that's the idea. And yeah, I just got to figure out how this whole area is going to be. If we assume this is aluminum, we assume this is wood, I can put an L metal there, L metal here. I can even have like a little thing for my tissue box right here, which is great. Maybe even like a little cup holder. I don't know. So yeah, I got to keep mulling on the idea, but essentially something like that. I just got to figure out what the best practice is going to be. Then over here, I still haven't figured this out yet, so we'll check back later. Oh yeah, I just had to come inside and rip the leftover fish from last night, and it's about nap time now. All right, just got a nap, got up, got on a few phone calls discussing a few new brand deals that might be coming soon, so stay tuned on that. But yeah, I'm gonna run to the market and grab some food. Let's roll. Now the nice thing with the car parked right here, if we need to access anything under here, it's like quick and easy. Look at that, we can check my zip tie job there. Check the zip tie job here, it's looking good. There still, yep, looking good. Zip ties here, yep, looking good. A little bit of dirt there, we'll just clean that off, yep. Everything else still looking good. Other than the fact that we need skid pans going the whole way. No idea what that means. Hopefully someone can translate. Put it in the comments. Dobre dan. Oh. No, burek.
Nema bureka.
Nema burek.
Pojeli smo ga, samo Eurokrem. Nema burek.
Okay. Tomorrow burek?
Tomorrow would morning.
Tomorrow burek. Okay, in the morning.
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 A može da
Okay.
bude i uveče. možda.
Okay, I was wanting burek.
Ah,
Burek.
burek za
Burek.
Eto tako.
Yeah, okay. We'll get some plums instead. Some plums.
Šljiva.
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 Šljiva. Šljiva, šljivam.
Šljiva.
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 Da.
Šljiva. Šljiva. What else do we need? Oh, we need trash bags for the car. Those are pretty big looking. Okay, one bread.
Okay. Da? Bez mleka.
Okay.
Eura.
Oh, that sucks. I was really craving the burek, but instead, get some bread, some ayvar. And I love these flowers here. This setup is quite nice. I just like this vibe with the flowers and the stone. It's just a good vibe, minus the little satellite internet. But everything else, it's like a vibe. All right, y'all, I've been slaving away on the computer getting things done, and we're gonna take a break because there's something beautiful to see. Check it out. That's a cool sunset. But this is also beautiful. All right, y'all, I've been working on a bunch of editing on the computer. Now it's doing a render. It's probably gonna take, I don't know, all night long. Hours and hours with this old computer. So, cooking dinner and I'm going to bed. So thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and pray that my Russian visa gets here next week and the other fridge for the car gets here, and then we can get all the materials and get it installed and hit the road to get through Russia and Siberia before winter. Peace out.